Oh, my God. This dude. You see it. Ooh. Tell him, Kenny, some of us work out. That's right, Ernie, the metamorphosis.
Well, he does that every night, boys and girls.
No, I
that's
just
how,
started doing it,
that's how Shaq makes his entrance into Studio J.
Undertaker's in the house.
Yeah.
That's how you used to in the game. I didn't even warm up. You just wait, because they knew when you hear that song, elbow time. Elbow to the face.
It is simple, and that's the way we like it. You win tonight, you're in the playoffs. You lose, and you're fishing. TNT NBA tip-off presented by CarMax. I'm here, Shaq's here, Kenny's here, Chuck's here. We got the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks just a stone's throw from here.
Man,
And
I cannot wait till tomorrow.
why?
Why? Well, because that's when the playoffs officially start.
Yeah.
Oh, these just
But you want to watch the game tonight.
First of all,
obviously.
these are sitting ducks, man. Stop it.
Sitting ducks.
Sitting ducks.
Oh, I disagree with that.
You think they're going to win a series?
I think they're going to be pushing people for sure.
Hey, Miami went from the play-in to the finals.
Finals 1 year.
3 years ago.
Well, whatever you want to bet.
2023.
You know what you
I'm not
bet
betting it. I'm just
Chateau and
saying,
Lawn House on it.
give these teams the respect they deserve tonight.
Man, stop it.
All right.
Let me hear your duck sound.
All right. Good. Now we're going to get a duck sound. Great.
Well,
That's a duck sound, ain't it?
Yeah, you never obviously didn't go to kindergarten. You missed the first 2 years of school where they teach you Old MacDonald had a farm, and they teach you the sounds of animals, and you're like, is that a duck? Who am I with here today, man? This guy doesn't know what a duck sounds. All right, Ernest, come on, man.
Quack.
You missed the first 2 years of school, man. Where were you?
Hey, listen,
you
when
were
I
homeschooled?
the only way I like
The
duck is
farmer says
Hey,
quack.
listen, the only way I like duck is with them honey sauce on it.
All right.
That's
Got
what I
no
want.
idea how we're going to get this show back on track, but we're damn sure going to try, boys and girls. The Heat lost both games in Atlanta this season, but keep this in mind. The Heat lost both games in Chicago, too, but on Wednesday night ended the Bulls season going wire to wire, winning by 19. A 10 seed in the play-in tournament has never advanced to the playoffs. But Miami's going to try to change all that in Atlanta. Hawks, meantime, trying to bounce back from a 25-point loss in Orlando and book a trip to Cleveland. Stephanie Reddy on the sidelines tonight at State Farm Arena. Stephanie, I apologize for the delay in getting to you here, but we had important stuff to discuss. What you got?
Listen, you did a great job, EJ, getting us back on track. I appreciate that. You're exactly right, though. This has the potential to be a historic matchup tonight. If the Miami Heat win this game and advance into the playoffs, they would be the first 10 seed to ever advance out of the play-in tournament. Now, on the other side of the ball, the Atlanta Hawks, they're trying to do things differently. They are not at all pleased with their last outing. Obviously, they lost that game in not so great fashion. But I did speak with Trae Young earlier today, and he told me one thing they can take away from it is the third quarter. When they made that comeback, he said they played more their style. They made shots, they played faster, and yes, he understands that postseason basketball generally does slow down, but he said they still want to run and play free. That's when they find their most success. Now, for the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero, coming off of his 38-point performance where he was 6 for 6 in the first quarter, he told me that he was just playing freely out there. He wants to do something similar tonight and have a free mind, take open looks, and make the right play. He knows, or at least he expects, that he knows where his shots will come tonight, because this is the 5th time that he will be playing the Atlanta Hawks in this matchup. Now, if someone has something to say about Tyler Hero's performance, it is Dyson Daniels on the other side for the Hawks. He, of course, is candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He's been playing so well this season. He told me he has a notebook at home, handwritten, guys, on actual paper, where he takes notes on every team, every opponent that he might face, and he continues to add to it as the season goes on. So you better believe his Tyler Hero section is probably very thorough.
Stephanie Reddy, thank you very much for the information. We appreciate you. So when you look at this this matchup, we go to CarMax Never Settle. Miami and Atlanta playing for the number 8 seed and a chance to meet the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. 2-2 on the season series. Trae Young struggled a bit, 35% shooting and 27% from deep. Tyler Hero scoring about 25 points a night. One of the things about the Heat here, coming off that win over Chicago, that's a team that likes to play fast, just like the Atlanta Hawks do. Miami held Chicago to a season-high 90 points and under 40% shooting. So they are familiar with facing a team that likes to get up and down, and then they throttled the Bulls the other night.
And they are ready for that. And if Tyler Hero can play a similar game, they're definitely going to win. I'm really concerned for the Hawks about their size. Khalil Ware and Bam Adebayo on the boards. The Hawks have no competition when it comes to rebounding. So if you put those three things together and they can do that, they would definitely win. However, the Hawks and Trae will play well at home. I like Trae, not because he's a great player, a great shooter, because every time you challenge him, he steps up to the plate. He knows he let his team down the other day. He knows he had a bad game. So all great players say, you know what, I'm not going to have 2 bad games in a row, and he's at the crib, so I'm going, Harry the Hawk is alive.
You taking the Hawks?
I sure am.
Well, you know, for me, the most interesting part of it, Tyler Hero, as you said, a guy having bad games in a row. I think he's ready to have 2 good games in a row. And Chuck, would you agree with this, though, that these 2 teams on day 1 were better than they are today?
Say what now?
When the season started, they were better earlier this season?
They were better teams on day 1 than they actually are now.
100%.
So it's hard to put a read on this game because, you know, the players that they traded away or don't have were actually such an integral part, and I thought made them a better team. So I still think that the Miami Heat has more because of that, the size. So I think I'm going to go with the Heat today.
You know, Kenny, it's interesting you said that because I was thinking about this game. I got zero idea who's going to win the game. But what I'm going to do is go with the best organization that I trust the most. So I'm actually going to go with the Heat. I think Atlanta might have a little more talent, but I don't trust their organization. So I'm going to go with Coach Spoelstra.
The organization not playing tonight.
Well, they are, you know, but the Miami Heat have a culture. You have to play a certain way to be on their team. So I'm going to go with the Heat.
And they're playing
Donovan and
Davion
Mitchell is coming really play well for them. You know,
I love that kid.
He has settled the point guard situation. You know, they had Terry Rozier. They put Tyler Hero at the point at some time. They played Bam at the power forward point. Now they kind of have everybody in there. He just put everybody in their right position.
I love Mitchell, man.
I think they call him Bad Night. I think that's his name.
Night.
Off night.
You know, I don't understand why they ever let him out of Sacramento.
Well, you know.
Because he played great. Remember they went that 7-game series with the Warriors a few years ago? I was like, I love that kid.
We showed you that Atlanta stat on the bench. They've actually had a good bench this year.
That's the fakest money you've ever had.
Hey, money is money. Bet it.
No, that's the fakest.
Fake money, real money. Bet it. Hawks tonight by 15.
Number 4 in the league, the Atlanta bench.
You gonna give me the Heat in 14?
Black people don't do spreads.
Black people don't do spreads.
Bet straight up. I bet you 20. We don't do all that spread stuff.
They were outscored 57-30. The Atlanta bench in Orlando the other night.
Yeah, you know.
And not only that, the Hawks shot their fewest threes, made their fewest threes all season long.
Well, I will tell you, they played bad the first half, and they only had 1 good quarter. So that was what was surprising because Orlando just kind of came out and punched them in the mouth, and they kind of staggered back up, but then they got knocked out again. I like this Atlanta home situation but I just think the culture they have in place, the stability Coach Spoelstra bring and Pat Riley and those guys, I think they can win. I think they can win that, and I'm going with the Heat.
Last 2 years, they've been in this Friday game, and they've won both of them. Both of those, though, were at home tonight again on the road in Atlanta.
Kenny knows this. Charles knows this. Everybody, especially the others, play well at home. Go to your routine, sleep in your bed, eat your lunch, talk to your people. Same routine when you get to the gym. And Trey, he had a terrible game the other day. I've never seen him play 2 bad games or 2 bad shooting games, but he's the type of guy that he really wants this for the city of Atlanta. I'm going with the Hawks tonight.
Also got
others will
ejected the
shine.
other night
Yes.
in that game against the Orlando
And that
Magic.
game was over when he got ejected.
Yes, it was. And
Oh, nutmeg.
Oh,
That's a delay of game.
no, that's a tech. You can't throw the ball at the referee that
He
hard.
tossed it. He didn't throw
That's
it.
a
Oh,
That's a
he's
toss. That's a toss.
there's 1T, and then
yeah. Then he's gonna.
Pat Frere would like the basketball.
He
And,
should have kicked it out of the arena.
and Trey is like, here's your
Kick
basketball.
it right now, Trey.
No,
Yeah, he should have kicked it out of the arena.
Man.
you gotta learn how to lose just like you learn how to win. Praise
You
a good
kick the
player.
ball at
He's a
that
good-
point,
he's
you're
a good
sitting-
player.
you're sitting
He's a good
tonight.
player, man.
He already got the second tech. Go and kick the ball out there.
It's like, no, if he kicks the
I don't
ball,
think that's the way the league sees it.
No, but if he kicks the
don't
ball,
get
he won't
suspended
play
for kicking
tonight.
the ball.
Yeah,
You get
that's what I
fined.
just
You don't
told
get
him.
He won't play
suspended.
tonight.
You get fined. You don't get
No,
suspended.
he would have
You
got
kick the ball.
suspended.
No, he wouldn't.
He would have got bit.
If he had
I'm surprised.
punted that
hit
ball
someone.
in the stands,
I'd have punted that thing up to the third
But
section.
what if he
then,
hit
then
someone?
you'd be sitting tonight. And how does that
I
help
have,
your
I've
team?
had a player. I have had 2 players on my team that actually did that, and they actually were suspended.
And also, I'm surprised he didn't get fined for what he did then.
No, that's just a take. Get out the game.
I haven't seen anything yet, but
get
I'm
out
with
the
you. I thought that's a little something extra.
That's a little something extra.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get fined for
Hey,
that.
Kevin, get the Fernie pads ready. If the Hawks don't win, I'll jump off the building tonight.
Well,
By the way, you want a fun nugget from the other night?
What's
I
that?
always want nuggets.
No mid-range points from the Heat
That's right. We back.
in their win in
Saeed,
Chicago.
we back.
Every point was from in the paint or 3 or the foul line.
Wow.
How about that?
Tyler Hero.
We're just loaded with stuff. Between you and him with the dunk. Kenny, thanks for playing it straight, man. I appreciate it.
McDonald had a fall.
E-I-E-I-O.
Get the Fernie pads
the
ready.
cow,
Go.
son.
How you spell
We'll jump
that?
off the building, Kevin.
The NBA tip-off is brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be.
I want to thank Chuckster for bringing this video in today with himself. There you go.
Wait, what is this?
1986. This date in 1986.
That W-A-D.
So what?
W-A-D.
Hey, shout out to rest in peace.
Weak ass dunk.
Hey, rest in peace to the great Dan Roundfeld.
Yes, indeed. He was
He was a good man.
sir.
That's all you had, Chuck? That's all you had, Chuck? A little
You know what
double
was
bubble
crazy,
wrap?
Shaq? I think in the next game, they scored 18 straight points and beat us at the buzzer. Dudley Bradley.
Wow.
We had a 17-point lead. We missed a bunch of free throws, and I think Dudley Bradley banked
Minister of Defense.
in a 3 at the buzzer to beat us.
You know,
I think
When was that, 88?
I can't
That was
remember.
85.
Yeah.
I was
86.
13.
You were 13?
I was in college.
So we had Mike Sealski on the pod today
Yes.
from the Philadelphia Inquirer, written a great book about the history of the dunk called Magic in the Air, described Charles as part caterpillar, you know, the caterpillar, those big trucks, part caterpillar, part Harley.
You mean
Which is great. No, that's
Caterpillar
great. That was a
Harley?
great description of him.
Caterpillar Harley?
If Shaq was, he said you
I
were
was
a big
Terminator
ugly
and
dump
Bambi.
truck.
Nope, I was Terminator and Bambi.
Yeah, you weren't and Bambi.
And Bambi.
Yeah, you were about 100 pounds ago. You were Bambi.
No, Bambi.
Now you're like a whole herd of elephants.
Hey,
Bambi because I'm
that-
nice and sensitive.
That game that we showed right there, that was the game where they came back.
Was it?
And beat y'all. Yeah.
Why'd y'all show the only the dunk?
Yeah, why'd y'all show the only dunk?
Hey, did you want us to show the 18-0 run?
Right, but y'all made like he won the game
Yeah,
and
exactly.
back in the day, and he did great, and they won and went up.
With
They
them little
lost.
ass shorts you had on,
They show
too.
you a highlight of you losing the game.
Come on, man.
Show me that clip again.
Watch this play here, Kenny.
Oh my gosh.
This is the last play of the game.
18 notes coming.
Look at you.
Watch it spin.
Look at you. No
Dudley
man's
Bradley,
land.
there it is, brother.
Play some defense, Otto
University
Porter.
Class, man.
I couldn't believe that. They scored 18 straight points.
Why would y'all saw y'all should have showed the highlight to it. Y'all made like this dude at 40 and 1.
Look at that, man.
Lost in a
It was unbelievable. They scored 18 straight points. We were up
Look at Manute
17.
Bol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
give me
rest
a
in
ball.
peace, Manute Bol, one of my favorite teammates ever.
bowl.
Kevin, Bring me a bowl.
Meantime, we're about to open the vault again, and this goes back to a day when the Chuckster got on the phone to Tim Kiley, our legendary longtime producer.
Oh my God, legendary is a stretch.
And what he said was, "I need a fish tank." Now, roll the vault. Are we gunning for 1 minute here, Charles?
Yeah, at least a minute.
He's
least
not
a
going.
minute.
I go 45
Wow, okay.
seconds is the most.
Put the goggles on,
Oh, yes.
and I'll cue you. Okay? You may begin. Hey, Charles. Hey, Kenny, look at this shot, man.
How much is that? That's only 7 seconds.
You're almost-
He's not making it.
Charles, you're almost there. That's
It's only
11.
11 seconds.
12.
Wow. He's not making it. He's coming up.
No, he's just adjusting his
coming
feet.
up for air.
Because his feet
I'm
are on a
telling
block
you.
back here.
It's only
23 seconds.
20 seconds.
Quick, help! Quick, help!
That's all
Man,
you know,
you were
20
that
No,
close
Shaq,
to catching
Hold
David
on,
Blaine.
but let me tell you what happened. I could hear y'all talking the whole time. That's
it's
why
our fault.
I could have made it a little longer, I'm not going to lie. But I could hear you talking the whole time, Kenny.
I was trying to make him laugh so he could choke.
Okay.
I was trying to make him laugh so he could choke. That would have been great TV.
That dude held his
23
breath for
seconds.
7 minutes. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have
had
did.
The fact that you went 23 seconds is
I could have did a
incredible,
minute
too.
if y'all had to shut the hell
That
up.
happened
Oh, you
the night
couldn't.
before.
Ernie, I can hear you in the background too.
I know. Well, I was on the show.
I could do more than 22 seconds.
A minute? Can you go a minute?
I could go a minute.
I bet you can.
You could go a minute holding your breath underwater.
Yeah, good, let's do it. Let's do it now.
Shaq, how long can you go in the water?
Minute and a half.
Listen, man.
Kevin, come on, Kevin.
Bring out
Come on,
the fish
Kevin.
tank. Bring
Come on,
out
Kevin.
the fish tank.
OTBS
Two different
over
ones.
there.
Come on, man. Your big old fat head can't stay on there. A minute and a half?
There ain't no way, man.
Pisces.
Just stop it.
What that mean?
So am I.
You a fish?
Yeah, but fish. Big fish. Go on, Will.
Come on,
Go
man.
on, say.
Hey, listen,
More whale than fish.
we get in shape differently than you do.
Hey, Dallas and Memphis tonight. Dallas and Memphis, another chance for a 10 seed to advance for the first time. If
Dallas
the
is
Mavs
good.
can
You know what
win
was-
in Memphis.
Those two games the other night were just such beatdowns. I mean, it was weird watching. I mean, they were just ass kickings. I like Memphis.
Ooh.
Is Ja playing?
That's a good question.
Game time decision with the right ankle.
I think the one thing we saw is, John Morant. He's an incredible player. This is when he twists his ankle. But for me, watching the Mavericks and Anthony Davis at the 4 with Lively and Gafford, and they had Keegan Murray guarding Anthony Davis. It was, you took barbecue chicken. You talk about,
It's really
when he's at the 4.
It's really,
oh my
it's
goodness.
really unfortunate that Kyrie tore his ACL because obviously everybody loves Luka on the Lakers, but let me tell you something, man. If this team had been healthy, and that's a big if, nobody would want to see the Dallas Mavericks.
Look at this, man.
If Kyrie was healthy, there's nobody wanting to see
Look at
this
this,
Dallas
See
team.
Kyrie and AD coming
There's
out.
nobody want to see Kyrie and AD and Gafford and that team together.
You cannot put a 6'7" guy on Anthony Davis. But the one thing that Jaren Jackson will be guarding him at the 4 because, they have size, with Edie in the middle for, at 7'3", so they can play big. But Anthony Davis at the 4,
Man, Anthony
It's
Davis,
not fair. It's not fair.
Anthony Davis healthy is just scary.
Yeah, they're 7-3 in games he's played, and this is the first time wearing that uniform that he's faced the Memphis Grizzlies.
Tonight for the Mavericks is about pride. You got two former champions that will be so embarrassed if they don't make the playoffs. Clay's going to have a great game. Anthony Davis is going to have a great game. They will move on. It's about pride tonight and about nothing else. The trade that went down. Anthony Davis,
I'm going
you
with the
definitely-
Grizz.
Clay had a
definitely gotta
nice
make the
night the other
playoffs.
night.
He did.
Clay was 8 for 11 the other night.
They're gonna step
I'm going
up
with the
tonight.
Mavericks on this one as well. I think that Anthony Davis is just too good when he's
Stop the ball.
and he creates these opportunities for
Bang,
Clay.
bang.
And after a while, they're going to be open because you go pick and roll and you cannot leave Anthony Davis on the roll. And if Edey plays well, it will slow things down a little bit because then Jaren Jackson. But when Jaren Jackson's at the 5 and you have a small defender on Anthony Davis, it is too easy for him.
Yeah.
So, Ja, game time decision.
He gonna
Again,
play. You got to try to play.
Yeah, you
can't
would
miss
think.
no games.
You would think. 48-34 the Grizzlies. Dallas goes in 39-43 off the win the other night in Sacramento. And Memphis, after the loss in Golden State as the Warriors advanced to take on the number 2 seed, the Houston Rockets, in the first round. Shaq, if the Hawks lose,
He always hits
Set it
us.
up. I'm going to jump off the building.
Rashad always texts us.
Jenna. We only got a few shows left. We mentioned Jenna.
I don't know if Jenna's still on social.
No, Jenna is. It's just they don't show his text. That's what it is. They upstairs.
Jenna.
They're not showing it.
We'll be back to wrap things up in just a sec. We welcome you back. The Chuckster, incoherent quacking.
Is that Sharu?
It could be,
Sharu
but I know it's Robinson.
I like that name, Sharu. Mm-hmm. You think that's a man or a woman?
I don't know. It's probably not the name of a mall, though.
Well, it's a man because it's a picture with a man
You see
there
his
in
picture?
front of the White House.
Okay, I just asked a question, bro. That's not the White House, fool. Or whatever it is. That's Supreme Court.
That's at Auburn Education.
No, that dude.
No, you.
The
you.
playoffs.
See that man right
I
there?
can see.
Listen to me. The playoffs are the perfect time to join FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now, new FanDuel customers get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just scan the QR code to join today. Chuckster, you were 3 points away from Ja Morant.
Thanks,
needed
Ja
25
Morant.
and he scored 22.
Yeah, I know. He's come on,
If
John.
it weren't for the ankle, you would have been golden.
Thank
You would have had back-to-back wins.
What do you think, Kenny?
Trey going for 25 plus.
I don't know if
Okongwu with 8 boards.
I'm not sure about Okongwu with the 8 rebounds.
Tyler Hero
8
with
rebounds.
25.
Are you serious right
I'm not getting 20.
I don't know about
I'm not
Bam getting 20 points.
Hey, I'm going back on a winning streak, y'all. I'm due.
When you're back on a winning streak. You didn't have a winning streak.
Streak is one game.
You won once.
Streak is 2.
No streak.
Streak is
Hey,
2.
Ernie, way to be a grim reaper.
That's at Auburn Education, I tell you, Ernie.
It's keeping it real, Chuckster. Straight ahead.
Right.
The Heat and the Hawks for the final playoff spot in the East. Ian Eagle, Greg Anthony, and Stephanie Reddy have it covered next.
Time of year.
This is the 2025 SoFi Play-In Tournament. The Heat now will play the Hawks for a chance to get into the NBA playoffs.
This is a one-game playoff series. These are the moments that you play for.
We got one more to go. The job's not done. We got a long way to go. We got another chance, and now it's win or go home.
We welcome you to Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight, it's win to get in. Pretty simple equation for Trae Young and the Hawks and Tyler Hero and Miami. You're watching the 2025 SoFi Play-In Tournament, an elimination game in the East. The Heat and Hawks winner gets the 8th seed in the NBA playoffs and will take on the top seed Cleveland in the first round. Welcome courtside, everybody. Ian Eagle, Greg Anthony, Stephanie Reddy, the rest of our crew. We may be witnessing play-in history tonight. No 10 seed has ever won 2 road games to qualify for the playoffs, and that's what this Miami Heat squad is trying to do.
They are, and they're led by their hero, Tyler Hero, who is coming off a magnificent performance in that first game. 38 points on 19 shots. He was terrific. He's going to have to continue that if they want to get this win on the road, and they are going to be matched up against ice-cold Trae Young, one of the most dynamic playmakers in our game. He's got a young, up-and-coming team. They're going to need him to be spectacular here if they want to advance.
Atlanta fell in Orlando on Tuesday night in the 7-8 game, 120-95. Miami the victory over Chicago on Wednesday night. Let's check out the starting lineups for Miami. Hero, Burks, Wiggins, Ware, and Adebayo. For the Hawks, Young, Daniels, Rizache, Gay, and Okongwu. In the regular season, they split the season series 2-2, but the teams are different than what we saw earlier this year because of the deals that they made before the trade deadline.
And in a lot of ways, they're different from about a month ago. I mean, there's been a lot of not just the turnover in the roster, but in the roles of so many of the guys on these respective teams. So sets up for a very intriguing matchup.
Ball is tapped out of bounds to open play. James Capers, Ed Malloy, Mitchell Irvin, our officiating crew here tonight at State Farm Arena. And the Hawks will control it with Dyson Daniels, one of the most improved players in the NBA, candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Okongwu matched up with Adebayo. Rizache on a kick. The jumper doesn't go for Gay, and it's rebounded by Adebayo.
And early on, Andrew Wiggins getting the defensive assignment against Trae Young, and you saw a little bit of that there on that first possession.
Miami went wire to wire against the Bulls. Adebayo nails it to open play.
Yeah, and it was their start in that game against Chicago, right? They got off to an incredible start shooting the basketball to open up some space from which the Bulls could never recover.
Half-court set. Rizache really stepped up his game post All-Star break. Young penetrates. He's challenged there, and it's Wiggins who makes the defensive play to force Young into a bad decision. He hands it over to Adebayo. Wiggins came over in the deal for Jimmy Butler from Golden State. He's really been an excellent fit for Eric Spoelstra and the Heat. Hero coming off a 38-point game, hooks it inside. It's Ware. He missed the jam portion, but still gets credit for the bucket as it rolls down.
Yeah, and Hero still gets the assist as well. And Ware, what a breath of fresh air he has been as Young unable to knock down that long triple. This is a different Heat team, not your typical 10 seed because of all the transition and the growth of some of their young guys.
Floated up, Adebayo, couple of pumps, denied. Okongwu with a full palm. Wiggins, the jumper is good. It's a three.
And again, getting off to just a terrific start here on the Heat offensively.
Young, stutter, blocked by Adebayo. 7-0 lead for Miami, trying to add to it here. Early offense, Wiggins, he's fouled in three-point territory. Rizache.
And it is amazing because this Heat team, as you watch them, and if you didn't know their record, you never suspect they were a 10 seed.
100%.
They had that 10-game losing streak, and Eric Spoelstra said something really interesting. He said, you know, in a lot of ways, it was one of the best things that happened to us. It kind of brought our guys together. As you see Quinn Snyder here trying to come up with some answers for them offensively, but he said that adversity has really propelled us here, and they've been playing some good basketball down the stretch.
So a second free throw here for Andrew Wiggins. When we talked to Eric Spoelstra, he said the chemistry with this group has been great. As you mentioned, even during the 10-game losing streak, it actually brought them closer together. Wiggins has a third free throw coming. They traded Jimmy Butler on February the 6th. Wiggins was part of the group that came over, including Kyle Anderson. Toronto was also involved, Davion Mitchell, and draft picks. Wiggins extends the lead, 8-0. 2 minutes gone by here in the first. Atlanta yet to make a shot. 0 of 3 with a turnover. Daniels lob it. Okongwu was taken off his spot and a turnover as he steps on the baseline.
And you're seeing here early some of the issues for Quinn Snyder and his group. If Trae Young's not at the point of attack in terms of initiating, they can struggle against good defense with other guys taking on that responsibility.
It's a Miami team that finished 37-45 during the regular season, 17-23 on the road, but there were different iterations of the Heat as the season went on. Adebayo, bam. 10-0 to open play. Miami is 4 of 5 from the field. Atlanta takes a timeout.
Last game, it was Tyler Hero getting off to the great start. Tonight, bam, leading the way.
Now the Miami Heat Heat are up 10-0 against the Hawks. I'm Stephanie Reddy. Tyler Hero was the big hero for the Heat in Game 1 of this play-in tournament, scoring 38, shooting 6 for 6 in the first quarter. Well, in this game, he's starting off being an impact player, not necessarily with scoring, guys, but how he's making the right play every single possession. Coach Spoelstra told us he's much more patient and mature, always competitive, but he makes the right decisions. And Tyler Hero told me that he expects tonight he'll know where to get his shots based on previous matchups against this defense, guys. Just to give the viewers some context, he's having a career year. He's averaging 23, 5, and 5. There's only 9 players in the NBA that average that, including him. I'm going to give you some names: Tatum, Doncic, Jokic, Giannis, SGA, LeBron James. He's in great company, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Stephanie. And the fact that Eric Spoelstra told us that he exposes any weak point on the defense as it's happening, that's a big part of what's developed here for Tyler Hero, and obviously the numbers reflect it.
Yeah, he's had a terrific season, and I think his confidence will grow, and Trae Young will get an opportunity to finally get the Hawks on the board. How about the fact those 2 offensive rebounds, first rebounds of the game for Atlanta, and boy, even that free throw was a tough point to get. You know, the thing about Tyler Hero, though, the next step for him is to be able to score against great defense. Consistently. When you can match up against the best opposing defender and consistently win that matchup, that's when you're able to elevate to that star level. And I think that's potentially what's in store for Tyler Hero.
Hawks are on the board after the foul called against Wiggins. 10-2 Heat. Burks pull up. He is playing with confidence. Alec Burks, professional scorer now in his 14th year.
Yeah, he can get it done. There's no question about it offensively. And confident and comfortable playing along other accomplished players.
Hawks have looked disjointed. They're down 12-2. Shot clock is down to 7. The jumper doesn't go for Reza Shea. Follow Okongwu gets the floater to go.
That's his 3rd offensive rebound the last 2 possessions. Now let's see if this Hawks team can figure out a way to get a stop.
They are now 1 of 7 from the field. Adebayo, one-on-one, kick, extra, Hero. The teardrop doesn't go. Tip in, Ware couldn't control it. Young does. On the move, the push. Reza Shea gliding to the rim, +1.
And why that's so important to get stops, the Hawks, one of the fastest teams in the league. They can get out in transition. And Trae Young with a nice delivery, and the young fella, Reza Shea, finishing through the bump.
They are number 6 in the NBA in fast break points, 17.2 per game. And now Reza Shea has a chance at a 3-point play. When we talked to Quinn Snyder about his group, he said, look, we've got really young starters. Other than Trae Young, everybody is really young, and he's very proud of how they've come together after all of the changes. Turnover, Young, unlimited range for Ice Trae.
No secret, the defense has ignited this 8-0 run here. They've gotten a few stops and able to get out in transition.
Spin, kick, Burks, drive, scoop doesn't go. Another good defensive possession for Atlanta. Young for the tie. No good. Rebounded by Adebayo. Get it ahead. Hero off the head and shoulder fake. Kick it. Adebayo. Fake on a 3. Lob it up. Slam down by Ware. A special delivery by Bam.
And I tell you, Ware's a special young talent. And having Bam able to play that 4 position, I think it really frees up some of his playmaking ability.
Deep one. Doesn't go for Young. Cleared by Ware. Adebayo on a bounce. Burks never shy. Missing on the 3. 14-10 Heat. Extended minutes for Gay because of injuries. Young floats it up short. Miami running. Wiggins attack mode for 2.
And Miami now, I love seeing Andrew Wiggins out on that wing, running the floor. Being able to kick ahead like that is such a luxury.
It rims out for Reza Shea. 16-10 Heat. Again, Miami looking to get into it quickly here. Burks lines it up. Uncontested rebound for Daniels. Young one-on-one with Wiggins. Screen, Okongwu. Switch.
See, early, their pick and roll defense, they're switching everything. They're going to try to give Trae Young different looks. He's unable to get that triple to go.
He got bumped after the shot. He was looking for a call. Wiggins, his jumper is pure.
Eric Spoelstra talked about how much they love Andrew Wiggins, and they want him to be more aggressive offensively.
7-0 run. Young floats it up, and a late whistle. He'll get the call. Atlanta is just 3 of 14 from the field. The NBA on TNT is brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. Trae Young, NBA assist leader. First time a Hawk has ever led the league in that category. Also led the NBA in turnovers at 4.7 per game. And now we'll get some changes here with Eric Spoelstra sending Davion Mitchell in along with Haywood Highsmith. Atlanta's going to go with Vit Krejci, seeing his first action of the night.
So waiting for him to check in.
I
like how you emphasize the beat. That was impressive.
That's me all day working in the mirror. Vit Krejci.
I like it.
Got to get it right. It's playing time.
That's right, baby. You got to be fired up and ready to roll.
19-12. Mitchell fend off, and the help by Reza Shea to knock it away. Running the floor, Reza Shea, and Ware a factor defensively. Knocked to the outside, controlled by Burks. Settle in. Half court set for the Heat. They lead 19-12. Wiggins, a little bully ball. Follow jam. Kel'el Ware with a throwdown.
And they are so high on that young man, averaging a double-double as a starter. Nice pick and roll action there to get a Okongwu on the roll. But Ware, he's such a difference maker because when you can impact the rim the way he does, that helps your spacing because you have to account for him down low.
He turns 21 on Sunday, Greg, so you can understand why they're excited about Kel'el Ware. Wiggins trying to save it, and does. Turn around. Out of bounds.
Much better job defensively here the last few minutes. And this is what we talk about. When you can keep that head under the rim, those offensive rebound opportunities are going to be there. And keep in mind, the Hawks were manhandled by the Magic in the first play-in game on the offensive glass.
As a starter, this is what Ware has done. Averaged a double-double in his rookie season. 10.8 points, 10 rebounds, and over a block per game. Nearly 2. Caris LeVert, the veteran, is in. Shovel it. Okongwu filling the lane and filling the cup.
And I really felt like the bench for the Hawks was going to have to show up tonight if they wanted to have a chance to win this game.
And a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. His team leads it 21-16. 4:08 to play. Opening quarter.
Yes, sir. Play in night, but don't forget to download the FanDuel Sports app. It's the best place for all your live betting and same game parlays, and it pays out instantly. And this is who this guy thinks is going to win. But who scores more points tonight? Trae or Tyler Hero?
I'm going to go with Trae.
Shaq, you're right. Here you go.
I guess we know where their thought process is. 21-16, Miami has got the lead. Change here for the Hawks. Terrence Mann is in, the former Clipper. Duncan Robinson for the Heat. Bounce it, Highsmith, lob it, and somehow it goes down. It's Ware on a tip, even though he wanted to crank it with 2 hands.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, great job of just corralling that and a nice soft touch to get that finish.
23-16. Heat. Daniels. Good fake. Floater. No. Rebounded by Highsmith. Miami shooting it at 59%, Atlanta at 28%. Highsmith, ball tipped by LeVert. Mitchell is there, kick it, Robinson shooting practice, no.
I think he probably had too much time. He's not used to being that wide open. I tell you, if you're Atlanta, though, with how poorly you're shooting the basketball, you got to feel pretty good about still being in this thing.
Tracked down by Daniels off the Okongwu miss. Krejci thought about it, feed the post, and that has been their bread and butter so far. It's been Onyeka Okongwu in the paint.
He has made 4 field goals here, which is more than the rest of their team combined in keeping them connected.
Wiggins tried to drive it on Daniels. Led the league in steals this year. Mitchell, he lost his footing against Krejci. Robinson scoops it up. Tough angle, +1.
And how about the hustle by Duncan Robinson? Just beating everyone else to the basketball there. Just great awareness. You see him up top and immediately sprints in, grabs it, and then felt the contact and then able to convert on the finger roll.
Follow every moment of the play-in tournament with the NBA app. Download today for the latest scores, highlights, and behind-the-scenes access. Trae Young back in for the Hawks. They're going to get a rest here for Okongwu, so that means Mo Gay is in the backup 5 role. He started at the 4 spot. Robinson shoots it at 89% of the free throw line. He extends the lead to 8. Young, lob it, and Gay missed on the stuff. Mitchell to Robinson, he's ready to shoot it, but the rainbow delivery doesn't go. LeVert with the board.
In that last possession, they played a little drop coverage on Trae Young with Adebayo.
Gay the catch, whips it to the corner, and it's last touched by Krejci.
And Gay there just not confident enough to kind of go up with that when he had a point-blank opportunity there. Just got to take advantage.
Hawks average 15.5 turnovers per game this season. Miami getting good look after good look, and Adebayo converts. It's a 10-point lead for the Heat. Young switching hands to the left.
Yeah, that's one of the issues there. You see this small lineup for the Heat, no real rim protection, and Adebayo got caught out on the perimeter.
And they're going to get Gay on the foul on the outside, dealing with Adebayo.
And so he's waiting for Trae to come off. Trae goes away from that screen, and just great body control and able to finish with the left.
We're down to 1:32 to play in this opening quarter. Winner advances to the playoffs to meet the #1 seed in the East, Cleveland. Inside out to Robinson. Return it. Mitchell penetrates, but missed it on the interior. Highsmith clears. Hero is open. Can't hit the 3. Screen from Gay. LeVert flips it to him. Gay couldn't catch it cleanly, and it's still up for grabs, scooped up by Highsmith. Turnover, Hawks. Hero, the stutter step, and could not finish with the left. Krejci ahead. It finally gets to LeVert. Off the dribble drive, and he floats it in. +1.
And Miami getting a little sloppy now, missing uncontested layups. And you know that this Hawks team, any chance they get, they want to push the pace, not have to face a loaded set defense from the Heat. And LeVert able to convert.
Robinson picks up the personal. 4 team fouls on each side. LeVert comes up short of the free throw line. Caris LeVert has played for Brooklyn, Indiana, Cleveland, and now Atlanta. Hero. Drive, kick. The Highsmith J is good. A high arcer for Haywood. Highsmith for 3. But off the made basket, LeVert gets behind the defense for the jam.
And that is really hard to do from an offensive standpoint, but that is just poor transition defense after a made basket. Something that Eric Spoelstra will not be happy about.
Caris LeVert, 4 points off the bench. Miami leads at 31-24. 12-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Hero takes the lane and finishes.
Yeah, that was a much harder layup attempt there than the one he missed, but a great decision. And that's the other area Tyler Hero's improved. His decision-making, his play-making ability out front.
First two of the night for Tyler Hero. Stutter step, Young, 1 second left. Krejci fires off the rim at the horn. Miami has got the advantage at the end of one over the Hawks. It's do or die tonight. Miami up 33-24 on Atlanta. You're watching the 2025 SoFi Play-In Tournament.
Hosting friends for the next series? Just tell Siri. Add wings to my grocery list.
Back in Atlanta, Heat have the lead during the timeout. Stephanie with Miami forward Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew, before the game, you said that you all wanted to be the aggressors on both sides of the ball. How would you assess what you've done so far?
We've done okay so far. You know, it's a long game, full of runs. We just got to stay with it.
For them, you've only let Trae Young score 2 field goals. Are you pleased with the defense that you've put out on him?
It's been solid. You know, it could be better. You got to the foul line a little bit. You just got to limit that. To draw fouls. But, you know, as long as we stay solid, stay together, you'll be okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Stephanie. Off the Miami miss, George Niang is in for the Hawks. Young, the handles. Niang, the drive, the stumble, and he draws the foul. Anderson was there defensively, also in for Miami.
And that entire possession was set up by the transition because they got the ball up the court quickly, forces a lot of cross matches, and it doesn't allow you to load. And their offense that time creates this opportunity for Niang to attack and get to the free throw line.
So they get Mitchell for the foul. Niang was just making sure he and Kyle Anderson were cool because there was a trip on the play. And Niang will get a second free throw. One thing that Quinn Snyder mentioned to us, what he has seen from the guys that came over, Niang, Mann, LeVert, at different times since the trade deadline, they've each had to really lean into what they do best. And at times it's led to some harmonious basketball, good chemistry. He mentioned just how proud he is of this group, that guys that have had added responsibility, they've stepped forward.
Yeah, and you think about those three guys, they all come from winning situations, yes, right? So they understand how to do the little things to impact the outcomes of games. And then it's just a matter of getting comfortable chemistry-wise because it is a completely different situation.
Hero forces its way in, but misses on the floater. Cleared by Okongwu. Leave it. LeVert, corner man. Doesn't go. Rebounded by the veteran Kyle Anderson. Atlanta is 1 of 11 from three-point territory. Adebayo taking matters into his own hands.
Great recognition by Adebayo. The quick attack before the Hawks could bring help, understanding he had the mismatch.
The miss by Okongwu. He couldn't slam it down. And what a save for Miami. Hero steps into the three. Bottom.
And that's Highsmith with a great effort there. And then how about the recognition on the save, locating a teammate to start that transition opportunity.
Miami's got its largest lead. Young has to go behind the back for Mann. Niang somehow gets to the rim. George Niang with the deuce.
It took a while, but eventually he got there.
Anderson, kick, Highsmith, extra, Mitchell. Anderson hanging out on the baseline. It's knocked out of his hands, out of bounds.
You talked about George Niang. He and Kyle Anderson. They're not guys that are going to blow you away with speed, but how about the effort and the recognition there? He didn't just throw it in, located his teammates, and a nice lead there by Anderson for Hero.
Anderson gets it in for Hero. Miami up by 10. Shot clock is down to 7. And Hero is denied by Mann, but there's a foul called underneath. So it's going to be Mann picking it up. That's number 2.
Yeah, and that's his job. He's going to be asked to come in and defend Not happy with the call, but Hero will get to the line.
Watch hit shows like Up and Adams with Kay Adams, Run It Back featuring Lou Williams, Chandler Parsons, and Michelle Beadle. All on FanDuel TV, free on all of your favorite devices. Another free throw here for Tyler Hero. Wiggins back in. He replaces Davion Mitchell. We've seen a clear shift in the rotation for the Miami Heat. Terry Rozier not a part of it right now. Jaime Jaquez not a part of it. Eric Spoelstra has settled in with this group.
Yeah, and listen, they've responded.
They have.
Even during that losing streak, he talked about it. They just found ways to lose games. They played well for 44, 45 minutes, and then they just could not finish. But that all changed after that. He said this group continues to believe and play with a lot of confidence.
Contact, and Trey, it's going to be Terrence Mann picking up his third. So this has been a frustrating stretch for Terrence Mann. In 7 minutes of action, he's got 3 fouls as he barrels into Adebayo.
He almost got caught off guard there. Just the reaction time wasn't good enough on that possession to avoid that contact.
He sits. Daniels back in. Miami up by 12. Anderson back for Hero. 7 to shoot. Daniels gets the assignment. Hero moving in the wrong direction off the double team. Adebayo has to hoist. Missed it. Daniels with a long rebound.
It was a great job defensively by Daniels. Forced Hero to retreat and just completely blew up that possession.
Young to Daniels. Rejected by Adebayo. Hero on the move. Flips it up. No, but a foul. Young wants it on the floor. Not a shooting foul.
That was a great block coming from the weak side. Was Adebayo just reading that play beautifully to create that transition opportunity.
Second block of the night for Bam Adebayo. It is a shooting foul, so Hero will get a pair. And it's Young picking up the personal. That's his first.
And how good offensively have the Heat been in this play-in, right? That first game they were spectacular, and they have continued this offensive explosion here in the first half.
Both seasons with 20 points plus scoring. Tyler Hero now with 4 in Miami Heat history, matching Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. Dwayne Wade still the franchise leader with 10.
That's impressive company to be alongside, though.
And Hero now has got 9 points. He is tied with Wiggins as the team leader right now for the Heat. Reza Shea short on a 3. One and done for the Hawks. Anderson directing traffic. Hero pops to the outside, matched up with Young. Highsmith ready. Got him. A 3.
Yeah, the ball movement, spacing, the timing has been on point here for the Heat.
Young is fouled in the act. It'll be Anderson, so 2 free throws here for Trey Young. Sinners from Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, and Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan. Now playing only in theaters. Young, 87% free throw shooter. Young did get ejected from that game against Orlando on Tuesday night. Received 2 technicals in the 4th quarter. There was a lot of frustration from Trey. Quinn Snyder was asked about it and said, look, it's something that the rest of the team sees and knows how much it means to Trey Young, how much it matters to him. As we mentioned earlier, Quinn talked about the youth on this team, and it's all part of a learning experience for them, trying to figure out how to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, and his patience will be challenged as this group continues to grow, because the confidence is going to ebb and flow as Karis LeVert checks back in. One of the few mistakes that you've seen made. And you can see after the score, just a hard toss over to the officials. And he knew what was coming, frustrated by how he was defended and how his team performed. And maybe hoping that they show up a little bit better here tonight.
Niang gets to the interior with a leaner. 45-32 Heat. 7:50 to play in this first half. Wiggins defended by Reza Shea, the #1 overall pick. Bounce it. Adebayo spins against the grain. He put it over Okongwu but couldn't finish it. Reza Shea, hard drive with the left hand, doesn't go. Controlled by the Hawks. LeVert, kick, Niang, extra. Reza Shea ready. Can't hit the three.
Reza Shea just really struggling. He's had some moments this season and has definitely improved. Just cannot find his rhythm here.
They are 1 of 13 from three-point territory, and another foul against the Hawks. A trip at the 7:12 mark. It's going to be LeVert.
It has been a struggle offensively. You can see there that reach as Hero's attacking is what creates the contact.
Tyler Hero is acting like a running back who gained 6 yards going up the middle.
Setting up second and short.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Second and manageable. 45-32 Heat. Anderson couldn't get it in cleanly. It's Daniels who gets a piece. Great barrier thief sets up the LeVert deuce.
And as poorly offensively as the Hawks have played, the defensive intensity has picked up here in this second quarter. They're going to need more of that if they want to have a chance to get back in it.
The Atlanta Hawks shooting just 34% from the field. Miami at 51%. The Heat have the double-digit lead.
Here's a look at Dyson Daniels squaring up against Tyler Hero. Dyson Daniels is a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He leads the NBA in steals, averaging 3. And then also, he leads in deflections, over 180 more than the next closest person. So he is an impact player on the defensive end. He didn't get that name, Great Barrier Thief, by accident. Larry Nance Jr. crowned him that name. He didn't like it at first. He said it stuck, and it's growing on him now as Yang lets one go.
Well, it's a tremendous nickname.
It is best by far that we've heard this year.
I think it's the #1 nickname to emerge this season as Niang bangs in a triple. It's a 9-0 run, but Miami answers right away. Every time Atlanta has made a little bit of a move, Miami has made a bucket, and it was Hero with the 3. LeVert, his 3, off. Rebounded by Gay. Cutter, LeVert. Anderson gets a piece. And it's last touch by the Hawks.
And that's a tough break there. LeVert, I think, was trying to play for the contact, assuming there would be some. Looked like he lost control of the basketball. Oh, well, you know what? That left hand by Anderson. But what do they call that? Incidental contact?
They do.
Yeah, they do often. Yeah.
So LeVert wanted the foul call. It was last touch by LeVert. Hero off the double team, swing, Mitchell back in. He fakes out Krejci. Hero, no look. Mitchell, a 3-ball, no. And Niang is there for the board. Trying to get this back to single digits. Daniels in the lane, lays it in.
Yeah, I tell you, they're just so much better when they play with pace and they're attacking. When they can get shots up the first 7 or 8 seconds of the shot clock, they have been much more effective here in this second quarter.
Hero, a blast. Daniels is there. Hero forced to adjust. Ware, a series of fakes and a feathery touch from Kel'el Ware.
I tell you, his offensive repertoire a lot better than he gets an opportunity to show. But as he gets more confidence and more opportunity, boy, he's going to be a handful.
He's 5 of 5 from the field. Okongwu, he can't put it over Ware. And now Miami's got a 50-39 lead with under 5 minutes to go in this first half. The hustle by Krejci. Hero wanted a call. They're just going with an out of bounds.
Yeah, Hero didn't like the call, but anytime that ball's on the floor, you can't assume that the opposing player is not going to go and dive for it. It is a dangerous play, but you can see his intentions was to get that loose ball, and fortunately for Hero, in essence, no harm, no foul.
It's a Miami team that averaged 13.6 turnovers per game, 8th fewest in the league. Not a team that will beat themselves, although during that 10-game losing streak, they did. Robinson. The jumper goes. Duncan Robinson with a downtown hit. 53-39. Heat. LeVert. Oh, he pulls it back. Highlight. Caris LeVert. That was saucy.
That was what we call a professional score.
11-point lead for Miami. Mitchell defended by Niang. Wiggins. They wanted to travel here. Highsmith. Man, he's feeling it. Haywood Highsmith has had a major impact.
I tell you, they've done a great job of finishing off their possessions here late in the shot clock.
Daniels threads the needle. The Niang jumper. He overcooked it. Rebounded by Okongwu. Shot clock is at 10. Young, swing. LeVert, is he feeling it? No. Oh, what a rebound! Niang working hard on the inside.
How about the effort there by Niang, just not giving up on it, keeping this crowd in the game as well.
11 points off the bench for the G-Wagon, George Niang. Mitchell. Upstairs, finished by Adebayo.
Just a really good decision there by Mitchell. He has really given them a nice burst since he's come over.
Niang falling out of bounds, saves it. Daniels. Give it up for LeVert. 10 to shoot. One-on-one with Highsmith. LeVert, the pull-up pop, doesn't go. Rebounded by Robinson. Miami continues to keep Atlanta at arm's length. We are under 3 minutes to play in this first half. Keep the ball moving. Adebayo. 8 to shoot. Mitchell is fouled. Davion Mitchell has been a terrific fit for the Miami Heat culture, and he's going to the free throw line. Caris LeVert. Now you see me, now you don't. But Miami has got the sizable lead on the Hawks.
Two things that when we do them, we're having a lot of success. One of them is we're getting in, we're keeping our feet, recognition on the challenge at the rim or the kickouts. The other thing, we've turned it up a little bit defensively on the perimeter. We're starting to make them uncomfortable. Not only are we coming up with some steals, right, but we're making them uncomfortable.
Our State Farm audio assist, Quinn Snyder, 11th year as a head coach, 3rd year with Atlanta, 8 years with Utah. When we spoke with him prior to the game, the things that needed to happen, don't turn it over. That's usually a message from all head coaches, but gang rebounding and then asking players other than Trae Young to do a little bit more than they might be accustomed to doing.
Yeah, and listen, he talked about it. I think their defense has definitely leveled up. They've just got to figure out a way to convert in the half court. They have struggled to get shots at the rim or uncontested.
Bam Adebayo with his 3rd block of the night. That's another thing Quinn said, is they do a great job protecting the paint with all 5 guys.
Yeah, and just a really good job. Mitchell staying engaged, which allowed for Bam to come over and get that block shot.
So if you're just looking at the numbers here for Atlanta, Okongwu is 4 of 7 from the field. The other 4 starters are a combined 4 of 24.
Not to mention only 3 of 18 from 3 to go along with that.
There is a Hawks challenge here on the denial by Bam Adebayo. We'll come right back.
What's up, Eastside? What's up, Eastside? We in it, think they seeing me, but they ain't seen, man, they ain't seen. Girls on the pole, yelling, make me rich. Girls on my shows wanna take my pick. Yeah, we can do this here all night. Can't tell me nothing, can't tell me.
Following review, the ball goes off the fingertips of Wiggins. Therefore, is Atlanta's ball on the baseline with 2:32 on the clock and 7 on the shot.
So this is why the Hawks challenged. Initially, they didn't know who touched it last, so they were going to rule a jump ball, but Atlanta was very confident that it was not Young who touched it, it was Wiggins, and they were correct. They win the challenge.
They've won something tonight. Now, this becomes a big possession because 7 on the shot clock. You somehow can get this one to go. There's still enough time here, 2.5 minutes, to kind of get this thing into single digits to get some momentum going into the half.
Shot clock is down to 3, down to 2. Okongwu got a 3.
How big was that challenge? Larry Nance Jr. is in love with it. Now can you stack up stops here?
Nance not available with a right knee injury. No Clint Capella, ligament sprain in his left hand. They lost Jalen Johnson earlier this season, left shoulder surgery. The adjustment, Wiggins does get the call. It looked like it was going to be a break opportunity for Atlanta. Instead, it's Wiggins going to the free throw line.
The whistle was late, but it's more important to get it right. And boy, that is a tough call. But I don't know if you're Quinn Snyder. You risk even winning that challenge. It means you don't have one in the second half.
The foul was called on Niang. Look at the upcoming NBA playoff schedule. Tomorrow it all begins. ESPN has got the Bucks and Pacers, followed by Clippers and Nuggets, Pistons and Knicks, ABC, the Timberwolves and Lakers. More on these games. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. 1 out of 2 for Andrew Wiggins, a 76% free throw shooter. He has scored 10. Niang, open look. Off the heel, rebounded by Wiggins. 12-point lead, under 2 minutes to go, first half for the Heat. Hero can't hit the 3, and Young comes away with the defensive board. Young weaving through traffic, he's fouled. So the reaction from Highsmith, who was the first man to greet him as Young made his move, needs a moment. And Young is going to head to the free throw line where he's 6 of 6 tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you give Miami a lot of credit. They have bottled Trae Young up here in this first half, but when he's been able to get in the open floor, that's where he's had his most success. Only 2 of 10 in this game, but this will be his 7th and 8th free throw attempt to just keep this Hawks team connected.
Trying to cut it to 10. Trae Young now in year number 7. It wasn't that long ago when the Hawks made that unexpected appearance in the conference finals. It was 2021. They lost to Milwaukee in 6 games. You didn't know if that was an anomaly or if that was the start of something. It turned out to be more of an outlier.
Yeah.
In the post-bubble postseason. Off the turnover, bullet feed. Adebayo gets a piece. Okongwu leaves it for Young. Off-balance delivery doesn't go. Mitchell, bullet feed. Adebayo is fouled. Daniels was there defensively. And a heads-up pass from Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell with a terrific find there. Just running the floor is Bam, and you see Daniels, no question, on the foul, but the right play to not give up the layup.
10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks for Bam Adebayo. The experience as part of Team USA. He now has 2 gold medals to his credit, one in Tokyo, the other in Paris. And Bam has become one of the unquestioned leaders under Pat Riley, head of basketball operations, and Eric Spoelstra, the head coach.
You have to preface it by saying the great Pat Riley.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got to give him his due.
I'm going to adjust my notes. I'm going to write it in so I never make that mistake. Your former head coach,
My
of course.
former coach and one of the best basketball minds that has ever existed.
Young, the setup for Niang on a bounce for 2. 13 off the bench for George Niang. This was the #1 bench scoring team in the Eastern Conference this season at 43.4 points per game for the reserves. LeVert trying to get physical with Wiggins. Kick it out of Bio. Left hand, that's nice.
Yeah, he is so good in space. Such a luxury to be able to catch that with an advantage.
Young accelerates, and Adebayo breaks it up. He got in front of Okongwu. Mitchell stops on a dime. Wiggins, his jumper, no good. And now Atlanta can hold for 1. Shot clock is turned off. 20 seconds to play. First half. The Heat up by 12. 10 seconds left. Young watched by Hero. We're down to 5 seconds. Swing it. LeVert fires. Connects for 3.
And that was a huge basket. They really caught the Heat sleeping right there. Didn't really run anything and able to get LeVert a wide open triple.
Mitchell off the rim. That ball had eyes. And we hit the break with the Heat in front, 62-53 over Atlanta. Winner goes home. Or winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home. Right now it's Miami in front, 62-53. You're watching the 2025 SoFi Play-In Tournament. Getting you ready for second half action, the SoFi Play-In Tournament with the Heat in front, 62-53. Back here in Atlanta, Ian Eagle, Greg Anthony, Stephanie Reddy, the rest of our crew. The winner advances to the postseason. Miami has been very efficient, not just tonight, but we saw it in the first play-in game where the Heat took control against Chicago.
Yeah, you know, they've been doing it by committee, and what I love about the Heat in this first half, they're allowing their offense to create offense. 4 of their starters are in double figures. Their passing, their spacing, their chemistry has been terrific here in this first half. They've gotten out in transition when the opportunity presented itself. Hero's done a great job with the facilitating. Also, this is a group, how about 17 assists in that first half? It's been about their offense creating offense and their defense doing enough against Trae Young and Ricochet to keep the Heat in control.
All right, let's check in with Stephanie.
Guys, I talked with Hawks assistant coach Mike Bray, and he said they just want to relax more on the offensive end, especially their young guys. He was so thankful for the vets that came in that first half and made a difference, but specifically they want to get Trae Young going on the offensive end. More screen and rolls, but using the floater instead of trying to get all the way to the rim. You guys know how effective Young's floater is in the lane.
And Alec Burks on target to start this second half, so the lead is back up to 12. Backdoor, Daniels gets the roll.
I mean, even that, though, it gives you some perspective of how challenging it can be in the half court for the Hawks to score.
This is the 6th play-in game for both the Heat and Hawks. That's the most all-time. Play-in veterans. And Wiggins with a scoop to the hoop.
That looked like finals Wiggins on that attack, exploding up above the rim on that finish.
NBA champion in 2022 with the Warriors. Young gets it to go.
And this is the one concern. You know, the Heat had a terrific first half, but keep in mind, they only scored 38 points in the second half in that win against the Bulls. So they have not been quite as in sync in the second halves here in these play-ins.
Burks misses on the jump shot. Here's Young. Kick it for Daniels. Comes up short. Hero there defensively. It's grabbed by Adebayo, and a cheap foul on Daniels with a little shove as Adebayo was trying to maintain his balance.
Yeah, that's going to be the next level for Dyson Daniels. Defensively, he's as good as it gets. And as his offensive confidence grows and he's able to make those finishes in the paint, I think it's just going to unleash another level for he and this Hawks team.
54% shooting right now for Miami. They are 8 of 20 from three-point territory. Wiggins gets a screen from Hero. Hero waits. He draws the big, knock away, and Okongwu has got the steal. Okongwu to the rim for 2.
Did he pick his pocket or what? How about the hands by the big fella on that defensive possession, 35 feet from the basket.
The 7'2" wingspan of Onyeka Okongwu, the 24-year-old from Los Angeles. Kick it, corner, Burke, denied! The extension by Gay. Miami controls. Wiggins against Young. Shot clock winding down. That's a force and way off. 8-point game. Okongwu can't hit the 3. Would have cut it to 5. And it's out of bounds off of Burks.
But you see this length and athleticism from the Hawks starting to pay dividends. There was a great steal at the half court and then getting the finish in transition. And then that incredible block by Gay as well.
And Gay cans a 3.
And it started in that midway through that second quarter. The defensive intensity started to rise for the Hawks. They started to get out in transition, get a little bit of confidence. Now playing at a much different level to start this second half.
Wiggins turns it over. Daniels to Young, turns the corner, gives it up for the land. Okongwu. It's a 9-0 run. Three-point game in Atlanta.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Quinn Snyder talked about how proud he was of this young group, and it's been because of their commitment defensively. Their activity on that side of the ball to start this third quarter has really ignited their offense and allowed them to get right back in this game. It's been their calling card, really, for the last couple weeks here, and you're starting to see it pay dividends here in the closeout play-in game.
Fast break points, 18-12 Atlanta. That's what the Hawks want to do. They've already topped their season average in that category. They want more of it.
Now, if you're the Heat, you've taken the punch. Can you get back to operating effectively on the offensive end?
Wiggins misses from the outside. Ware's got the offensive board, but it's knocked away and a turnover. Young on the move. Daniels, fend off. Okongwu, he was the go-to guy in the first half for the Hawks. Three-point game. We approach 8 minutes to go in the third. Young for the tie. No good. Long rebound. Tipped out for Mitchell. Mitchell accelerates and lays it in. That is one of those plays that may not necessarily pop off the page in the box score, but that goes the other way just on a little tip to create a turnover.
And it really allows you to kind of exhale if you're the Heat, who have been struggling here offensively.
And Young misses on the floater, but he digs out the offensive rebound. Reza Shea can't buy one.
They just cannot unleash the young fella, and they're going to need his offense.
Oh, the lane opens up, and Wiggins rocks the rim. Back-to-back buckets for Miami. Mitchell is right smack in the middle of it for the Heat.
He just has an impact on winning. And you can tell now Reza Shea's confidence is really not there here in this game.
Yeah, he's searching right now. Wiggins loses his footing, and it's saved by Daniels, but Mitchell steps in front of Reza Shea. The ball is free. Gay and Hero hit the deck, and the save by the Hawks. Jumper doesn't go. Reza Shea.
How about the effort by both sides on that possession?
Reza Shea is 1 of 11. Trae Young is 3 of 14. Double up, slam down! Khalil Ware! Major throwdown, and what
after that heavyweight start to the third, Miami has responded here. Bam Adebayo getting inside, gets it up to the big fella for the finish. Heat by 9.
It is a deep play in history for the Miami Heat. 2023, they lost to the Hawks, but then got the win to advance and earn the 8th seed, went to the NBA Finals. 2024, lost to the Sixers, but then beat the Bulls to earn the number 8 seed. And here in 2025, beat the Bulls and now facing this win or go home scenario.
It's kind of a theme.
A little bit.
Going on
I'm
right
seeing
now.
the recurring theme.
A little too much play in action and not enough play off right now.
They want off, not in.
Yeah.
Niang puts it in.
Yeah, I tell you what, how good was George Niang in that first half? That's 15 points for him. He and LeVert really gave this Hawks team life.
73-66 Miami. They have not trailed. They have led by as many as 17 tonight against the hometown Hawks. Wiggins going to work. 4 to shoot. Adebayo peeks at the clock. Against Okongwu. Tough shot. Air ball. Knocked over to Daniels. Hawks settle in with Young coming to the basketball.
Yeah, and Dyson Daniels blew that entire sequence up by not allowing Hero to catch it on the strong side wing.
LeVert. Kick it. Niang out for Young. Niang goes down. Shot clock down to 1. And they're going to run out of time. Shot clock violation, Hawks.
Yeah, when the Heat have been able to set their defense, they've been able to squeeze Trae Young. And keep in mind, outside of LeVert, they don't have guys comfortable at the point of attack offensively, and it's starting to show.
That is Atlanta's first turnover of the third quarter. Miami did finish number 9 in defensive rating this season. Finished 21st in offensive rating. Adebayo. Handoff, Wiggins. He has scored 14. And it's tipped home by Bam Adebayo. 75-66. Tight defense. Daniels saves it for Man. He was in foul trouble in the first half. Okongwu hits the heel on the jump shot, and Niang got in there against Wiggins. Foul called against Niang.
Fans didn't like this, but I thought the ball, I tell you what, that was still in the cylinder a little bit, and they get Niang here on the reach in.
So Miami can bring this lead back to double figures. We're going to hit the 5-minute mark of the third. A lot of dribbling here for Mitchell. Feed it. Hero. Jumper. It's pure.
He has gotten so good. Hasn't had as many opportunities tonight because of the good defense, but boy, he has made the most of it.
78-66 Heat. Hero now with 15. Man, swing for Daniels. Off the dribble drive. Missed it. It danced on the rim and off. It's an 11-2 Miami run. Hero draws 2 defenders. He'll skip one for Highsmith. Short. Cleared by Daniels. 4:19 to go in the third. LeVert. It's blocked by Ware. That was the kryptonite from Kalel to LeVert.
And I tell you, Kalel gets the block, but it was Mitchell's ability to not be blown by that allowed Ware to stay in that play as he cleans it up at the rim.
Miami up 12. Mitchell shifting gears. He draws the foul. He just brings a very aggressive attitude both ends of the floor.
He really does, and he understands what he needs to do to help this team have success out there. The point of attack defense, which Miami felt was much needed, he gives them that, but then offensively, just a solid decision maker, and that ability to get 2 feet in the paint consistently really ignites their half-court offense.
All right, right now let's take a look at our FanDuel Live point spread for tonight's game. Start of the game. Miami -2, currently -10.5.
Ooh, I might have to tap that -10. That's a lot of points. Just saying.
You know, you're saying it out loud, right?
I know. I know. That's, you know, I like to share that and get some insight from the fans, see what their thought process
and
is.
I've sensed that you want me to participate
A little bit. I was wondering what you thought on the point spread.
That was your lob to me. I didn't take a cut at it. Okongwu flips it in.
That's a tough shot. And, well, I tell you, Okongwu continues to improve and impress.
Signed to a 4-year, $62 million deal. Been a bargain. Hero, fly by, Daniels. Hero can't hit the jumper, and it's rebounded by LeVert. Miami up by 11. LeVert using the Okongwu screen. LeVert, string music.
Caris LeVert been a little quiet here in this third, but they need him to get going offensively.
Caris LeVert off the bench with 12. It's back to an 8-point game. Anderson floats it up. No. Grabbed by Okongwu. That's his 8th board. Hawks trying to inch a little closer. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. LeVert one-on-one with Highsmith. LeVert loses the ball. Hero is there. Waits. Needs help. And clears for Mitchell.
Good job of transition defense there by the Hawks off that live ball turnover.
Hero wants to take Niang off the dribble. Niang extends out. Hero gets around him. Mitchell, extra. Highsmith, shot clock winding down, drives and scores.
How about the patience there by Highsmith, understanding where the clock was in that situation, and a beautiful attack for the finish.
Just plays with a high motor, and Highsmith has scored 10 points, grabbed 5 rebounds off the bench. Anderson was trying to pick the pocket of Daniels, and he is called for the foul.
And you can see this ball movement by Miami. We talked about the offense creating off. You get 2 feet in the paint, it puts them in rotation, and then it's about just making the right read. That's how you create advantages for your teammates. When that ball touches the paint, the defense now is on defense. They have to get in rotation. Miami doing a great job there.
And a foul called as Highsmith came over defensively. 2:05 remaining in the third. So he picks up the personal. Eric Spoelstra's team, 23 assists tonight. The Hawks have 16. Niang, Young, LeVert, Mann, and Okongwu on the floor. Okongwu gonna shoot the 3 and cans it. That's been a huge difference in his game this season.
That, and I tell you what, his overall activity level has also jumped. He is so much more active on both ends.
18 now for Onyeka Okongwu. Crossover. Short from Anderson. Grabbed by Adebayo. They'll back it out with 9 to shoot. Robinson in there for Miami. Loops one for Mitchell. Highsmith nearly lost it. Anderson, a grenade is good! Slow-mo for 3.
How about that 9-1-1 bailout? Just great defense for about 23 seconds by the Hawks, but the patience by the Heat and the delivery from Kyle Anderson.
And the first point to the night for Anderson. Young drive and kick. Niang, tight defense from Mitchell. Under a minute to go in the third. Niang will hoist and hit the 3. 18 off the bench for George Niang. It's 84-77 Miami.
And they've had their struggles from 3, but starting to find a little rhythm here late in this third quarter.
2-for-1 opportunity. Adebayo, body from Niang. Robinson, shot clock winding down. Anderson just made one. Another. Yes, sir! Big smile for Kyle Anderson. Back-to-back trades with a shot clock expiring.
And how about those deliveries from each corner there by Kyle Anderson, it really takes your breath away defensively.
6-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Swing. LeVert. The jumper is in and out. Long rebound. Highsmith running with 6 seconds. Into the hands of Mitchell. 4 seconds. Mitchell trying to drive. He stops, pops, and doesn't get the roll. End of 3 in Atlanta. Miami 86. The Hawks 77. The winner advances to the playoffs as the 8th seed. You're watching the 2025 SoFi Play-In Tournament. Second shot that he took, his foot was on the line, so it has been ruled a 2-pointer for Anderson. 86-77 as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Moments ago, Stephanie Reddy with Hawks swingman Caris LeVert.
You talked this morning about wanting to stay connected on both sides of the ball as a team. Is that how you got back in this game in the 3rd?
Definitely. You know, Kyle Anderson hit some big shots at the end of that quarter, but we're in a good spot.
What do you want to see? How do you close this thing, close the gap, and take the lead in the 4th?
Keep taking our shots, keep rebounding, and just believe.
Thanks for stopping. Good luck.
Well, thanks, Stephanie. Despite the surge from Atlanta in the 3rd, it was still a standstill in the 3rd quarter.
It really was, but credit them for getting back in it. Now let's just see if this group can somehow get some consistency offensively.
Niang had it partially blocked, clears it. Young, shot clock winding down. Niang fires halfway down and out, rebounded by Highsmith. Early offense, Adebayo drives in. He put it too low for Highsmith, but it bounces right back to it. Mitchell lines it up. Can't hit the 3. LeVert waits for his teammates. Just about a minute gone by here in the 4th. Man, lets it fly. Got a 3.
Yeah, that's a huge basket. Makes it a 2-possession game. Keep in mind, they still have not gotten Trae Young going offensively. 3 of 14. Let's see if he can somehow put his imprint on the start of this 4th quarter.
Hawks are just shooting it at 40%. Miami at 51%. One-on-one. Anderson spin. Anderson short. Niang there defensively. 5-on-4 right now. Anderson getting back defensively. Young. That's a wide open look. He's got it. Hawks cut it to 3. Timeout Heat. Trae Young getting involved in money time, the 4th quarter.
Well, on the biggest game of the season, give the Miami Heat a lot of credit. They have bottled up Trae Young, really not allowing him any airspace to operate. Lots of pressure on him, frustrating him, but understanding who he is and sensing the moment. It's all about the time and score. This is a 1-possession game, and ice-cold Trae is ready.
Miami has never trailed tonight. Hero out of the timeout, short. Battle for it, and the Heat have it. Mitchell doesn't take the jump shot, backs it out with 8 to shoot. Just about 2 minutes elapsed in this 4th quarter. Hero against Young. Hero makes his move, floats it up. Can't get it to go. Tapped by Adebayo, and Hero converts from the outside.
And the defensive rebounding just not there on that possession. 2 extra opportunities for the Heat, and they cash in.
They've out-rebounded them 39-34. Turnover, or is it? Wiggins couldn't grab it. Niang does. Young had it jarred loose for a moment. Daniels a 3. Not one. 2-point game.
I tell you, I love the effort really by both teams. They are battling out here tonight.
The crowd has come alive in the 2nd half here in Atlanta. Hero defended by Daniels. Hero gives it up. Adebayo can't hit the 3. Highsmith is there for the offensive rebound and loses the ball. but there was contact. Foul called. Let's check in on Quinn Snyder in his huddle.
The biggest thing is we're outworking them here. Can you feel it? All right? We're a more aggressive team. Let's stay that way.
Our State Farm audio assist. Can you feel it?
I can feel it. They really have competed. And I'm not talking about just playing hard. They have been the aggressors. They're winning 50-50 battles for loose balls, contests. They are playing Miami Heat basketball from a defensive standpoint.
Wiggins bounces off the rim. And Miami is 1 of 7 in the fourth quarter. Daniels for the lead. Too strong. And the box out there by Wiggins. 88-86. Heat. Mitchell. Driving kick. Hero thought about it. Will feed it. Highsmith. No good. Strong side rebound by Daniels.
And a good job of not allowing Hero to make a great release there. And how about that block shot by Adebayo against LeVert?
Adebayo extending out defensively for yet another block. Hero sets the feet. Can't hit the jumper. LeVert gets it ahead. Man drives in and finishes. We are tied at 88.
I don't know that I've ever heard this arena this loud. This crowd is on their feet.
11-2 Hawks to start the fourth. Young almost took it away. Miami will retain with 8 to shoot. Everybody on the bench comes over to help Trae Young off the floor.
And Quinn Snyder talked about a great look up by LeVert there for the easier man. And check out the response from the bench, though, if we have it. After he dives, everybody up off the bench for the Hawks to pick up their leader.
Mitchell gets it in, Adebayo, and he can't feed it to Wiggins cleanly. Out of bounds.
Yeah, miscommunication there between Highsmith and Adebayo gives the Hawks an opportunity here to take the lead.
88-88. Play-in drama in Atlanta. Young shows it. Got it! Hawks have their first lead of the night. 8-0 run, extended 14-2. 91-88 Atlanta. Hero, tight defense, swing it. Wiggins, 7 to shoot. Spin, Wiggins banks it home. 1-point game.
That was a big-time finish by Andrew Wiggins and a much-needed basket for the Heat.
Foul out front as Young made his move.
We talked about you need your best player to step up. That 3 there in a game where he's had his struggle. That's 2 straight triples he's able to knock down to give this Hawks team some confidence.
Foul was called on Mitchell, his second. We got a timeout with an even 7 minutes to play. The winner extends their season. With a perfect bracket, make your playoff picks with NBA Pick'em Bracket Challenge presented by Castrol for your chance to win big. Play free at nba.com/bracket or in the NBA app. So we know the winner here will be the number 8 seed in the East. Cleveland is just waiting to see who they will match up against. It's Indiana, Milwaukee in the 4-5. The Knicks, Detroit 3-6. Boston, Orlando 2-7. Miami has lost an NBA worst 15 games this season when leading going into the fourth quarter. Let's get more from Stephanie.
Guys, when we spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra for the Heat before the game, he talked about that losing streak that they suffered during the season and how much they learned from that. The problem was, he said, they were playing good basketball, but they were having bad patches of basketball, and that's what we're seeing right here. The Heat had a great game, and then they had a bad skid. Can they survive that here in the fourth quarter?
The Highsmith 3 doesn't go. After the Daniels bucket, Atlanta's got a 3-point lead.
It is indicative of that stretch, Stephanie, and you're starting to see it. Will they be able to handle the adversity? Can they get a stop and get something to kind of change the momentum here midway through the fourth?
A bomb off the mark from Young. Adebayo does save it for Wiggins. Atlanta now 6 of 11 from the field in the fourth. Miami 2 of 12. Hero's got a screen from Highsmith. Adebayo, he's got it.
And that's one way to do it. Your best players are the ones that tend to be able to squash momentum and to get your confidence back. Great job in that two-man game by Hero and Bam.
Daniel, swing. Okongwu, 9 to shoot. 5:35 to play in regulation. Okongwu back in. Turn. And there's a foul called. Hero was in there defensively. And he's going to pick up the personal.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays. Watch that left elbow. The question is, looks like the call was probably made before that.
Get it in. Daniels. And another foul. As Daniels was looking to dish. It's going to be Highsmith picking up the personal.
And still not in the penalty. They 2 away from that, but a reset of the shot clock.
Third personal on Haywood Highsmith.
It looks like they've gone to a little bit of a zone, Miami, here on this possession.
Man, feed it. LeVert, get it back. 6 to shoot. Okongwu. Cha-ching! A 3! .23 points. Onyeka Okongwu, steal by Daniels. Look out! Okongwu on the rack attack. This game is turned.
We talked about the growth of Onyeka Okongwu, the ability to step out and knock down the 3, but how about the hands defensively? Comes up with the steal. Hawks are flying.
Playoff moment mean more on America's #1 sportsbook. Joe Johnson on hand. He's made some big shots in his career.
They don't call him ISO Joe for nothing.
Right now, Atlanta has seized momentum, but Mitchell can answer back with a 3 to shift it. It's a 3-point game. 4:48 to go.
Huge shot, and I can guarantee you that was not the play that Eric Spoelstra designed. But how about the guts of Mitchell to give his team a boost, sensing that they just needed a spark.
Daniels, fake floater, short. Rebound, claimed by Wiggins. Miami down by 3. Mitchell handling the point guard duties. He's going to drive on LeVert, create space. LeVert is there defensively. Hawks come the other way. Kick, Young, Okongwu, another, no. And Adebayo controls the glass. Double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds for Bam Adebayo. Hero, feed it, Highsmith. Diagonal, extra, Wiggins. Beats his man, kicks it out, Hero. Shot clock down to 4. Hero, bullseye. 1-point game.
Yeah, disjointed possession, but Tyler Hero bails them out with the floater.
3.5 remaining. Winner earns the 8th seed. Will take on #1 Cleveland in the East. The loser goes to Cancun. High archer, LeVert overcooked it. Miami can regain the lead. Hero screen, Adebayo. Hero pull up. It's good. Tyler Hero puts Miami up by 1.
We talked about it, a 7-0 run. Your best players have got to be able to come up. And Tyler Hero, the last two possessions with that nice little pull-up from mid-range. Heat back up by 1.
Gets started tomorrow on ESPN. The Pacers host the Bucks, and then the Nuggets home for the Clippers. The Pistons take on the Knicks, and the Timberwolves visit the Lakers on ABC. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or just check out the NBA app.
Yeah, I got that app.
I got it too.
Yeah, it's good. All right, we've seen the stars come up the last few possessions. Can Trey get going?
Blocked by Adebayo. He came out of nowhere. And Hero will take it in, but miss it. Knocked to the outside, claimed by Okongwu. 99-98. Niang off the mark. And the Heat slow it down with 2.5 to go.
Didn't love that shot by George Niang. Still a lot of time, but you got to feel like you can get a better look than that.
Hero drives, kicks. Highsmith in and out. Oh, excuse me, it goes in. Adebayo and Wiggins crashing the boards.
Not sure who gets the credit for that one, but how about the effort on that second shot opportunity?
It's a 9-0 run. Miami up by 3. Niang skillfully gets inside for 2. Under 2 minutes to go. We got a 1-point game. 20 points off the bench for George Niang. 101-100 Heat. Hero crossover. Hero step back. Yes!
This is some big time plays being made. How about Tyler Hero? 3 straight baskets sandwiched around that second chance opportunity from the Heat.
Niang swing. Daniels. 1.5 minutes to go. 3-point lead for Miami. Inside. Daniels puts it down to cut it to 1. And Daniels going for the steal, out of bounds. 1:26 on the clock.
That was almost a disaster on that baseline. But how about Tyler Hero going at a potential defensive player of the year, creates enough space and teardrops him.
103-102 Miami. 1:16 to go. Wiggins with 10. Highsmith bounces. Adebayo. Shot clock down to 2. Down to 1. Adebayo knock away. Oh, it ends up underneath for Highsmith. Another unexpected bucket for the Heat. Defender goes down. Daniels to Young. 3-point lead for Miami. Young gets inside and lays it in. 1-point game, 52 seconds left.
This game is incredible here. Just big time effort and play after big time play.
105-104 Heat. 42 seconds to go. Hero, pull up, short, knocked up in the air. Okongwu has got it for the Hawks. We're down to 32 seconds to play.
And they don't call a timeout so that Miami can set their defense. Does it pay off?
Niang, spin, fake, short, rebounded by Highsmith. And a timeout called with 19.7 to play. Miami clinging to a 1-point lead. Winner goes to the playoffs. The loser get in here in the SoFi Play-In Tournament. And Miami and Atlanta going toe-to-toe with the Heat up 105-104, 19.7 left in the fourth.
And partner, this has been a great basketball game. I mean, the intensity, the effort, the big plays being made on both sides of the floor. It's somewhat sad that someone's got to lose this game because both teams have played well enough to win.
Wiggins gets it in. Mitchell ahead. Adebayo for Hero. And they foul him. Okongwu with 14.9.
And I understand not wanting to foul right away, but they had an opportunity to foul Mitchell. And they passed up on it, and then you end up having to foul their best free throw shooter. However, they had one to give, and still enough time
Mitchell, trigger in, Hero, knock away Daniels. Did he bounce it off of Hero is the question. Out of bounds with 13.1.
That was a gutsy play. You can see he gets in there. Oh. Yeah, I think that's the right call, though.
Mitchell, he'll go long for Hero, and then Mann runs into him with 12.2.
Yeah, and even though he more than likely makes them both, it still keeps it at a one-possession game if you're Atlanta.
Tyler Hero, a pair of free throws with 12.2 on the clock. His team is up by 1. It's a 2-point game. Miami finished as the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference, 37-45. But they won 8 of their last 12 games and felt good about the way they were playing heading into the play-in. He missed the second attempt. Miami's lead is 2. 11.3 left. Timeout, Hawks.
And that miss makes it so much more difficult from a defensive standpoint, right? Because now they don't need the 3, and that opens up the entire playbook for Quinn Snyder.
Trae Young has stepped forward on a number of occasions throughout his career, but this season, December game against the Lakers, down 1. Young with a 3, 8 seconds left in OT. The Hawks win by 2. Early January at Utah, tie game. Trae from beyond at the buzzer to win it. And then February 3rd at the Pistons, a tie game. Deep fadeaway with 1.6 to give the Hawks the win.
Yeah, there's no question. He has that ability and the timing, and you see those clutch numbers. He has been terrific all season long. Now the question, though, is does he become a decoy in this situation? Again, remember, 2-point game. You don't have to go for the 3, but you can rest assured that Trae Young is going to have something to do with the outcome of this last possession.
Hawks take the floor with Young, Niang, LeVert, Daniels, and Okongwu. Miami with Highsmith, Adebayo, Wiggins, Mitchell, and Hero.
And you wonder defensively, if they do go pick and roll, how will the Heat play it? We've seen drop, we've seen switches, we've seen double teams here thus far.
11 seconds left. Atlanta down by 2. Get it in. Okongwu. He saves it for Young. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and a foul is called with 6.1.
He'd had 1 to give. That's a really heads-up play by Davion.
And Atlanta's going to take a timeout. So Davion Mitchell fouls Trae Young as there was a bit of a scramble. Okongwu was backed up against the sideline and was fortunate just to get rid of the ball in that spot.
Dangerous sideline out of bounds there on the inbound, and you've got to be careful in this situation. Again, typically they let Trae Young inbound it, which means you're not going to have it in your best ball handler's hands on the inbounds unless Quinn Snyder changes up. 6 seconds, not a ton of time, but enough in the half court to get something driving at the basket and forcing the Heat to maybe have to spray defensively. You can see how dangerous that play is there. And really, if Davion Mitchell had been a little bit more alert there, he could have denied Trae Young there potentially, but he understood they had a foul to give. I think that was more so laying on his mind in that last possession.
Miami defended this so well. Atlanta was fortunate to get out of there with possession and a foul call to stop the clock with 6.1.
It is a dangerous play.
So we'll do it again. 2-point lead for the Heat. Atlanta with possession.
And the Hawks will have Niang and LeVert, 2 really good 3-point shooters to go along with Trae Young here. And Okongwu is also a much improved three-point shooter.
And the Hawks have no timeouts remaining. 6 seconds to go. Daniels to toss it in. Winner gets the 8 seed. Get it in for Young. 4 seconds left. Young makes his move, drives in, ties the game. 1.3 left. 106. Trae Young making it happen.
And I tell you, that missed free throw opens that up, because now you don't know if he's going to go for the three. And you can see he was able to freeze Wiggins to get the angle, and then he did a great job of using his body to shield Wiggins off there so that he couldn't get the block. That is just incredible offense there by Trae Young. He's had his struggles, but he still has found a way to impact this game. 24 points, 11 assists. And the Hawks right now with a chance to potentially force overtime.
Miami has used its final timeout. Knotted up at 106. This is just to get into the playoffs. This has been intense, highly entertaining.
And I mean, you've got to turn around in a couple days, and you can see the intensity on Zoe and the great Pat Riley's face. This has been one hell of a game.
So 1.3 on the clock. Miami with a chance to win it. Anderson now in. The Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins watching from the stands. Hero, Wiggins, Robinson, and Adebayo, the 5 on the floor.
No fouls to give either for the Hogs.
Anderson, the trigger man. 106, 1.3 on the clock. Anderson looking. Turn around, no good. Wiggins at the horn. Overtime. Bonus basketball in the play-in.
And a good job defensively there on that contest.
We'll come back with OT from Atlanta on TNT. 5 minutes on the clock, overtime here in the SoFi Play-In Tournament. Cleveland is waiting to see who their matchup will be in the first round. Game 1 will be Sunday night. Will it be the Heat? Will it be the Hawks? Miami 3-5 in overtime this season. The Hawks 2-2.
Yeah, and each quarter defensively, the Hawks have gotten better. They held the Heat to 20 points in that quarter, and they also put up 29, which tied what they had put up in the second quarter. So they've gotten progressively better. Let's see who has the momentum here to start this OT.
Adebayo wins the tip. Miami led by as many as 17. They saw Atlanta take its first lead in the fourth quarter, only to see the Heat come back. Trae Young, clutch bucket to tie the game in regulation. Wiggins, spin to the rim, he flips it up, no good, popped up in the air. That claim by Okongwu, a foul. Wiggins on the chop down.
I tell you what, give the Hawks a lot of credit. They had a mismatch with Trae Young defensively on that block, and they switched out of it and allowed LeVert, who brought some size and maybe do a better job on that contest, and forced the miss.
Young, no look, but the problem was Man wasn't looking either. Man felt he was held.
He was, but I think you're right. I don't think he saw that pass coming. Frustrated, but it's still a turnover.
Mitchell using the Adebayo screen. Kicks it out. Highsmith for Hero. Bottom. It's a three.
And again, Davion Mitchell's attack. He gets 2 feet in the lane. It puts the Hawks in rotation defensively, and a great read to get it to Hero.
27 for Tyler Hero. Young floats it up and in. 1 point game with just over a minute gone by in OT. Davion Mitchell, formerly of the Sacramento Kings and Toronto Raptors, lines it up. He hits a three.
How big has that young man been? He has really been a tone setter for the Heat.
112 to 108 and a travel, Trae Young.
And it's the same guy. Mitchell, again, defensively there. The confidence to shoot this three. Coming off that screen, he catches Trae Young going underneath and makes him pay.
Miami 112, Atlanta 108, 3:20 to go in overtime. They switch out front, LeVert defending Hero. Screen from Adebayo, switch to the big Okongwu. 7 to shoot. Hero, Mitchell, again! Davion Mitchell is lethal!
He has been electric here on the road.
And Mitchell is taken down and man picks up the foul.
And you wonder if they'll challenge that one. A great job by Mitchell. But how about the big threes and then defensively just steps right into it.
Fired up offense and defense for Davion Mitchell.
And you see the foul there against Terrence Mann. Still a lot of time here, though, just under 3 minutes in the 7-point game.
Here's Wiggins, picked up by Okongwu. 8 to shoot. Wiggins wants to dance. The floater is good. Miami pulling away from Atlanta. 117 to 108, 2:34 to go in OT. Daniels swing it, they need it. Okongwu, they count it. It's a three.
I tell you what, how huge was that triple there just to keep you in the game. 2-possession game here, still with a ton of time.
117 to 111. 2:12 left on the clock. Davion Mitchell to Adebayo, flip, no. Rebounded by Okongwu. Got 2 minutes to play. Young goes to work. Pulls it back. Got him! It's a three!
This game has just had so many ebbs and flows, so many momentum changes.
117 to 114. Miami. Hero on target. Both teams making big-time shots.
This is high-level competition.
120 to 114. A minute 34 on the clock and a foul. Mitchell and Young exchanging pleasantries.
This is getting intense, and you gotta have your best players with the guts to step up in crunch time, and that's what's happened on back-to-back plays. There's Hero answers.
Miami in overtime is 4 of 4 from downtown. The Heat lead is 6. Daniels one-on-one. Spin over Wiggins. Doesn't go. Cleared by LeVert. Okongwu the hard drive. That won't go. Rebound knocked around. Young digging for it. Hero hits the deck. And a tie-up with 1:13 to play.
A jump ball there. That is huge. Hawks had a couple opportunities there. Great effort. How about Hero? Look at him just go attack the basketball, get down on the floor. And LeVert, a great job tying it up here.
.120 to 114. They're trying to determine who is going to jump it up. Eric Spoelstra complaining. It is Hero and LeVert. Ed Malloy will do the honors. 6-point game. Adebayo steps in front, popped up in the air. Okongwu extends for it, and Atlanta's got it. LeVert, pump fake, short at a three, and Hero is there for the board.
I don't know if LeVert realized how open he was. You saw him have a little hitch in his shot there. I think he was surprised just not understanding. That was a transition opportunity. You see how he just caught it and hesitated a little bit. I think that threw his rhythm off on that triple.
Just over a minute to play. Miami with possession and the lead, 120 to 114.
Now, defensively, if you're the Hawks, you got to get a stop and secure that defensive backboard.
Adebayo hands it to Mitchell. He's been the man in overtime. Shot clock down to 4. Mitchell, step back. Off the rim. Mitchell gets in there and saves it. Davion Mitchell continues to crush the Hawks. Hero ball fake. Shot clock winding down. Mitchell, jumper. Oh, yeah! 123 to 114. Davion Mitchell owns the night.
He has made all of the big plays here. How about after the miss, the presence to come in and just attack that basketball, comes up with the loose ball. You get the swing, milking a little clock, and then able to knock down the dagger. And what looks like the game-sealing bucket.
It extends the lead to 9 with 23.7 on the clock. Davion Mitchell had 1 point in the first half. He has put up 15 in the second half and overtime.
Yeah, and the defense. And it's not just his scoring, and his ability to get that ball in the paint off the dribble to put Atlanta in rotation. He has created, doesn't always get the assist, but it's more like a hockey assist. His ability to compromise the defense has really ignited this Heat's offense.
The belief that Erik Spoelstra has in Davion Mitchell. He has played 40 minutes tonight. 16 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and clutch plays on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and what he is who they are from a defensive standpoint and a competitive spirit. He brings it every night. He may not always shoot it well, but the effort and the understanding of who he has to be in order for this team to be successful always shows up.
No 10 seed has ever advanced to the playoffs out of the play-in. And Miami up by 9. Niang, his jumper is way off. Daniels got shielded on the play, and it's out of bounds. Tyler Hero boxed him out. 18.8 to go.
A bit of a sigh of relief if you're the Miami Heat at this point, because this thing was getting away from them. But give them a lot of credit. They showed great resilience when they could have very easily have folded. Erik Spoelstra and co. would not let them.
Timeout called by the Heat. 18.8 to play. The Miami Heat, the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they are 18.8 seconds away from going to the playoffs.
How about the emotional energy that you end up expending in situations like this as well?
Hero not going to shoot it. Hawks are not going to foul. Shot clock is turned off. The Miami Heat win 2 road games in the play-in, and they're going to the playoffs. They take a thriller in Atlanta. It'll be Miami and Cleveland in the first round in the 1-8 matchup in the East. 123 to 114 the final in overtime. Miami gets it done. It was dicey, but the Heat handled their business when it counted.
An incredible game, and I got to tell you, partner, if this is a prelude to the postseason, we are in for a treat.
For the Hawks, they had 2 chances to get in. They could not capitalize. The loss to Orlando and now the loss to Miami. The Heat advance, and that means we have an Eastern Conference bracket. It is official. It will be Cleveland and Miami in the first round. The rest of the Eastern Conference with Indiana and Milwaukee, the Knicks and Detroit, and Boston and Orlando. We send it over to Stephanie Reddy.
Thanks so much, Tyler. What a game, and specifically what a finish. That overtime session, explain what that was like, that back and forth until you took over.
Man, two competitive teams, you know, fighting for the last spot in the playoffs. That was exactly what you saw. Both teams were deserving. I loved how my team fought. Every single, run that they made, we answered. And I feel like this entire season has really built us up for this point. So I'm really happy for my guys.
Davion Mitchell dominated the overtime session, taking charges, knocking down threes, getting offensive rebounds. What does that mean to you that you have teammates that can step up in those big moments?
He's a dog, he's a pit bull, whatever you want to call him, Davion Mitchell. He needs to be on someone's defense first, second, or I think third, whatever that, however many teams they have, man. But no, Davion's been a tremendous pickup since we got him. I'm so glad he's with us, and he's a menace on that side of the ball, man.
We talk a lot about Heat culture in the NBA. Was this the epitome of it, what we saw tonight?
Yeah, I think this entire season leading up to this point is Heat culture. It wasn't the exact perfect season for us, but all the ups and downs, how we fought, continued to fight back, answering runs, 10-game losing streak to come back and answer and go. I think we're 9-2 since then. It says a lot about our team, our organization, and we got to continue to keep getting better.
This is a historic win. This is the first time a 10 seed will be advancing out of the play-in to make it into the playoffs. You will be playing Cleveland in the first round. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Historically, they're a great team. Offensively, they're very good. But we're excited. We're ready for the challenge.
All right, before I let you go, did you pack?
Oh, yeah, we packed for 9 days, so we're ready to roll.
All right, thanks for stopping. Nice job.
Thank you.
They knew the assignment. Miami understood how this all works. And the Heat do make history. The first time a 10 seed has advanced to the playoffs out of the play-in. The Heat win it over Atlanta. For Greg Anthony, Stephanie Reddy, the rest of our TNT crew, Ian Eagle saying good night from the ATL. You've been watching the NBA on TNT, exclusive home of the Eastern Conference Finals.
So cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nothing about to make it right. To me like you're payment. ba na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba hey wayo a neman mun Jamila Jamila don Allah gida babu abin da zai raba mu har abada Jamila zuciya na ɓaciwa gida Ooh, no matter what people do or say this love will never die if I knew I never hurt you so bad drinking so much too much women in my life kwashe mata Jamila, I'm so sorry. I mean a girl. Inna dagida na gan Jamila na. Inna dagida inji muryan Jamila. Inji abincin Jamila. Wayo.